See record. Okay. All right. Sorry, turn my phone. Okay, so module 3. This is probably the first module that we have a huge chunk of. Pretty much this entire assignment is going to go into the final draft. So what I want to go over with today is what is exactly expected. And then last week, or really not last week, but the last module, you were supposed to do kind of like 2 examples of a cost benefit analysis. So I'll go over that in detail. I also posted that announcement. I'll kind of show that announcement to go over it in detail. But this is going to be kind of the main chunk of this section. And this section goes into the final draft. And I'll probably pull up a final draft so that you can kind of see what this looks like. So first off, the marketing plan kind of sets you up mostly for if you're ever planning on going to a bank and you want to get a small business loan. You need a solid marketing plan so that the bank will see that you have an established plan, because they're not going to just lend out money to anybody. So having that established plan is really, really important. So that's one purpose. The other purpose is knocking out a marketing plan assignment gives you sort of a roadmap of how you're going to market your products and what type of products you have and who your target market is. And the most important thing about developing your target market is matching your products and services to your target market, matching your products and services prices to your target market as well. So if your target market is kind of everybody, I've had some students that say the facility that I'm designing is for all types of people. And that's all well and good, but if it's for all types of people, then that means that you need to include low socioeconomic status incomes. And so all types of people aren't going to be able to afford a $60 personal training session. So a lot of people, what they do is some people will design kind of a nonprofit and go for low SES, or they'll go for higher SES, like middle to high middle income or high income population group. And then they'll price their products and services as such. So that's probably a really, really important aspect of this. When you do your product and service description, you have to have at least 2 services. Now, most people end up having like 4 or 5, because if you're going to have a strength and conditioning facility, for instance, you may have team strength and conditioning, group fitness classes, and you kind of just go down the line. So describe your service or your product, and then put a bullet point list of each one and the cost of them to the client, okay? Because that's how I match your target market. And when you write up your target market and consumer profile, make sure that you write up the demographics of where you're looking to pull from in a certain city. Like if you're going to be in Greensboro, where at in Greensboro are you going to be at? And then what's the distance to your facility that you would like to target? And then what's the socioeconomic status of the target? So really, really important indicators that you have to look for. Market indicators or SWOT analysis. You can do a SWOT analysis, or you have to do a small SWOT analysis on your business and your hypothetical business and your services. And then this is where you're going to develop those 2 marketing promotions. So if you would have done, if you would have done the cost benefit analysis, or if you would have already completed the 2 marketing promotions in the last assignment, then you're set here. Then this is already done. Then you basically just copy that over from that last assignment. You can go a little bit more in detail in the external marketing or the internal marketing strategies. And then that cost benefit analysis should be that breakdown. And the way that breakdown should look is, this is a sample market or market strategies guide or market plan. Now, this is not as intense as you need to be in your assignment. So this is like a full on, This is almost the size of your business plan. But it should be something like this. I wouldn't worry about putting pictures. If you want to, you can. I don't really, that's not that big of a deal for me. This is a CrossFit gym. CrossFits notoriously do really, really well with marketing. That's why they're so popular. Okay, let me see. Let me pull up I think it's here. Yep. Okay. So for the cost benefit analysis, I would look at this announcement and review this announcement that I made. This kind of gives you the catch-all of a cost benefit analysis. This is a return on investment, and then this is a cost benefit analysis. You don't have to do all these ratios. Really what you can do to determine your return on investment is pretty much just this. This is an example right here. So cost benefit and monthly overhead breakdown. So you kind of give your hypothetical potential breakdown, and rents varies. For instance, if you want to be in Wilmington, usually around the university area, it's about $1 to $1.50 a square foot. So for instance, my facility when I used to own it was 8,000 square feet. So it was about $8,000 a month. If you're on Mayfair, it's about $1.50 to $2 a square foot, even upwards as high as $2.50 a square foot. So it gets a lot more expensive. So an 8,000 square foot facility in Mayfair runs you around $15,000, $16,000 a month. Really, really expensive to be in that area. If you want to be like a lot of CrossFit facilities or a lot of rustic style gyms like Peak, are in Dutch Square, the Dutch Square area in Wilmington, and that's really cheap. That's about 75 cents a square foot. So kind of runs the gamut of where you're going to be. If you're going to be in a warehouse district, it's going to be cheaper. So think about that. And then your utilities, you can kind of average out. I mean, think about how much your utilities are for your apartment. You know, I know my electric runs at around $200 a month. So electric plus water at my house, you know, is about $300 a month. Well, in my facility, it so happened that it was about the same, $300 a month. Insurance can vary, and just be very vague about this. This isn't a risk management class, but in the risk management class, you should learn about insurances. We'll learn about insurances a little bit in this class, but there's professional liability and general liability insurance, and that runs you anywhere between, depending on what licensures you have or certifications, can run you anywhere between $200 to $500 a month. And then your payroll tends to be pretty expensive. And then so on and so forth. So this is a basic breakdown of a cost benefit analysis. And then this is how you come up with your return on investment. So in this scenario, these are the total expenses, right? And then this is the income coming in. And you get these numbers based on, what you projected it was going to cost to the client. So you come up with your services, and then you come up with how much it costs to the client. And then you come up with, okay, how many products or services are required to get you to a break even. This right here is a break even. So with a $22,500 a month overhead, this person came up with 450 memberships at $30 a pop, 60 standard memberships, premium memberships, individual group sessions, personal training sessions, and this is per month. And then so all of that, and you think about that, that's quite a lot. It takes a lot to just even break even at a facility. So then in this scenario, the return on investment is zero. There is no return on investment because this is your investment and then this is your return. And right now this is a wash. So if I was to write up like the return on investment, I would want to probably, you know, double some of these numbers, or maybe even like 0.5 some of these numbers, or you know, maybe about 600 basic memberships and so on and so forth. I'd raise a few of these, maybe get to about, that's realistic too. You know, maybe get to about, you know, around that 30,000 mark. But the beauty of this right here, knowing your break even, is anything over your break even is net. So this is your gross income. Anything over your break even is your net income. And that's the beauty of that, is that after that, you're just making money at that point. So this is what it should look like right here. And then, you'll include your external marketing strategies, the 2 strategies that you come up with, include in this section. And so that'll be the 2 strategies that you come up with down here. Okay. So ideally, that's what kind of should have been done in that last assignment. If it wasn't, no big deal. Go through, read that announcement. You can watch the previous video, but this pretty much gives the whole breakdown of it. After that, come up with some marketing products. And if you want to give away the marketing products, great. Shirts, hats, t-shirt, t-shirts, drawstring, backpacks, mugs, whatever. And you can either sell those, or you can have them for sale, or you can have them as giveaways for certain types of memberships, or if someone buys a package of personal training sessions, and then use that as a marketing tool. We are going to develop a logo in the next assignment, but you don't need a logo now. If you want to develop the logo now, no big deal. And then when we get to the actual draft, you're going to move this company description into another section, but we'll at least get this started. So utilize the examples to kind of get you going. But just know that these examples are not, this thing popped down again. These examples are not 100%. Like it doesn't have to look exactly like this. When you do your actual draft, it's going to look like this or look pretty similar to this. But this will give you an example of a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. And then this will give you kind of an example of, products and pricing. You don't have to go to this extreme for some of the, like an action plan. You don't have to come up with an action plan. If you were actually opening up a facility, then I would absolutely recommend that you do this, because a bank wants to see this. So that is pretty much it for this assignment. So that's the most important aspects of this assignment. And then when this assignment is completed, this assignment will be turned in to here. And then this adds to it. And then we'll get to this business plan draft. And then you're going to insert this assignment into the business plan draft. And basically that whole section is going to be, so you'll move the company description to here. Next week, we'll knock out the mission, vision, training plan, staffing. But the marketing plan that other section will go all through here. So I don't know why I have company description twice. It shouldn't be twice. But you'll move the marketing plan to here. And so this whole entire section will be done after this week, which is nice. And your service overview will be done. So you'll move your services from the marketing plan to here, and then your description to here. And then all you'll have to do for the draft is really your executive summary, the table of contents, title page, logo. You can have an appendix where you put in next week's assignment into the appendix. And then this, you only need the titles for: operational plan, financial plan. You only need the titles for that in the draft. So that's that. Do you have any questions?
No, it sounds pretty self-explanatory.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's really kind of just busy work. But the cool thing is you kind of get to design and develop your own facility. And if you ever in the future want to open up your own place, you got kind of a springboard to be able to do something like that. Right. So, all right, cool. Well, if there's no other questions, feel free to shoot me an email. And if you need any help, this module assignment will be due, obviously not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So you got some time.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.